Hi guys, just wanted to welcome you to the Backyard Demographics little demo. Gonna talk about a little bit about what the site does in general, what you can do with the data, and then kind of specifically a little bit about the products. So in general, there's quite a few things you can do with the spatial data. My background is I've been in GIS work for about 10 years, doing a little bit of everything from consulting to tech to politics. So I've been in a lot of your guys' shoes on how to use the data for all kinds of business use and case studies. So just wanted to walk through and show you how I created this site for just kind of everyday needs. So first of all, it's focused on four different product types. Some KMZ, KML files. I'll walk through those just to show how they function. An infographic, which is good for kind of presentations and just visual usage. Some classic reports, so it's more like Excel and numeric values. And then a classic map, the kind of the choropleth map you might be familiar with. So let me walk through those a little bit. First of all, maybe looking through what are some of the best use cases are. Obviously, you can use spatial data for quite a few different things. Things that I've used it for personally are for different real estate needs for clients. It's really great for business planning, especially when you're starting or launching a business, to have all these numbers and maps in your business plan. It's great for business strategy if you're already executing a business, kind of looking at where the trends are in your business or opportunities to grow. That kind of ties into the marketing piece. You can do some geo-marketing plans or just kind of see maybe where you might put a new location. It's also great for academic kind of writing and research. You can interject all these little maps or values just to make sure that you have strong numeric representation. So let's kind of walk through each of these individual pieces about the types of products you can get. So this is kind of based on some different types of GIS software and data sources. I mean, things like the census files and consumer spending data, things like that. So I'm going to just kind of walk through on the platform because it is so interactive. I kind of pieced it out to make these products. So there's some steps on here on how you can actually tell me the details that you would need, but I'm going to just kind of walk through on what might be the best logic so that you can kind of get to those details. So first of all, obviously it starts with an area that you'd be interested in looking at. So for reference, this is kind of the Seattle-Tacoma area. You can go as granular as you want. You can get an address, you can get a state, you can get some drive times or a radius around a specific address. So really whatever you need. So once we locate that, you'll see kind of this prompt to tell me what site you need on the order page on the website. Then we can start kind of delving into the variables. So this is the same site. This is looking at retail sales, so kind of looking at where does retail activity happen. And this is at the zip code level. This is also prompted on the website is what size of data do you want? Obviously, we're looking at Seattle, but if you zoom in and out, you're going to start getting different frames of reference. So this is at the county level. So depending on what you need, you can let me know and I can adjust it for you. So you can get very granular all the way down to block groups. So that's pretty small. So yes, and then you can kind of also verify which type of variable you need. So I put a list in there. You can kind of look through them, ask me questions if you need something specific or different. So what this would normally lead to would be to a static map, and that's this output here. So this is good for presentations and reference, but again, it's static. There's really no dynamic element anymore. So you have to be very specific on what you want because you're not going to be able to change like the frame of reference or anything. So that going back to the website, that's what this product is. You can just get a classic map with any variable you want. Maybe for presentation purposes, going back to that same information, an infographic could be great. It just takes that same frame of reference, whether it's whatever size of the area you want, and turns it into like high level points. So this one's more on the demographics. You can see it's still Seattle. Takes a few key indicators. There's also quite a few infographic reports you can get as well. So that's back to the website. That's the infographic page. Stylistically, we can change a lot of this stuff. I wrote all the different infographic options there are, so you can check those out. Another item on the site you can order is a classic report. So this is good for numeric values. So depending on what, if you want to compare something or just get like a profile, this is kind of talking about businesses in the Seattle area. Talks about employees and revenues and things like that. So very numeric. You can do some like comparisons. You can also get this in Excel. So that's really valuable if you're trying to do some statistical analysis or get multiple areas and compare. So you can also specify the type of report you need in terms of format. So again, that's another one of the products. And then finally is a KMZ or a KML file. These can be loaded into Google Earth and Google Maps. So this is actually San Diego. I just had this one loaded, but it's representing this same type of material, like a variable over a space. And what you can do here is, this is dynamic. So I didn't load any data in here, but depending on what variable you want, these essentially regions will pop up depending on how big you want. So again, you would need to tell me how spatially big or small you want it. These are zip codes, but this map is dynamic. So you can kind of put in on Google Maps, you can put in different layers, like drop pins and do all kinds of things in here, which is super valuable. It's not going to be as clean as the static map in terms of presentation, because this already has the legend built in and stuff. This is more dynamic for research or presentation. I guess you'd have to determine, like, if you're going to turn this into a static map, taking a screenshot and redoing the values for the legend. That's something that you'd have to take into consideration, but this is good for research and exploratory things. You can kind of turn things on and off so you can kind of see where exactly you are as opposed to the static map. So yeah, those are just kind of interesting things you can do. All these can be taken into consideration of use cases. You can do all kinds of different things with them. So just kind of laid out a few things here. In order to get these, everything is like on a individual basis. So I kind of laid out some ideas on steps to execute the order. You pretty much just click which item you want, and then it's going to have a drop down from geography, and then you can kind of descriptively write some things. I left it, you could only pick certain variables for certain types of products, just because that's the way the software limits the visualization piece. So, and then also too, I wrote a little bit about myself. You can check also about anything custom you need. I mean, I've done all kinds of different custom GIS type of studies and work. So if you need something different, or if it's just like way out of the box, let me know. Each item's $50. You can put them together if you need all of them and save $50. If you just, it kind of depends if you're putting this all together as a package, or message me too if you need like a volume, or just let me know. We can figure things out. So yeah, that's a little bit about the website of Backyard Demographics, and then kind of how everything's structured. So let me know what you guys think, or shoot me an email and we can figure out like how to work together. All right, sounds good.